and the work that we do. And I'm also going to hand it over to my colleague Lerato to take you through the internship program. So today, like the topic of today is unlocking global career opportunities. The reason why we chose this title specifically, we believe that the experience and the skills that we give you here at Supivaa will really set you apart, and it's going to make you global competitive once you intern with us. Next slide, please. All right, so I'm going to be doing the team introduction. I'm not going to go much into detail, but these are the people that you are going to work with once you start interning with us. A whole bunch of experts and mentors that are ready to mentor you into your corporate journey and into just making sure that you are refining your career. All right, next slide, Lerato. All right, so most of you here might be asking yourselves, so who is Supivaa and what exactly does Supivaa do? So Supivaa is an impact investment advisory firm. It is very much rooted in guiding ventures, fund managers, and programmatic partners to become gender intentional and gender transformative leaders. So we are champions of impact measurement, evaluation, reporting, and amplification, helping leaders understand their value proposition. And we are doing that effectively to communicate their gender journey and advance ecosystem development through the dissemination of their success and learnings. All right, so now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Lerato to tell you more about the internship and what is going to be required of you as you join to be part of Supivaa's internship. Over to you, Lerato.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daisy. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Patrick, first of all, for giving us this opportunity to connect with these students. And thank you very much to everybody who took their time out to just come and join us for this info session. My name is Loretta Zwane. I'm from South Africa. I'm based in South Africa. I've been working with Supivaa as a chief of staff. Well, I started back in 2021. I also started out as an intern back in 2021. I did my 3 months of internship. And after 3 months, I was still really unsure about what I wanted to do because I had just finished my honors degree in 2019 and I got, some jobs here and there. But I really was just looking for a place where I can actually find more purpose into my career because I was really not sure about what I wanted to do. So through my mentor, I got connected with Supivaa, and that's when I started working as an intern. I did my 3 months of internship. After 3 months of internship, I remember thinking to myself, I still don't really understand or know what I wanted to do. So I decided to extend my internship to 6 months. And luckily for me, I was privileged enough to be hired permanently as an administrator. From there on, I worked for like 2 years. After 2 years, I was then promoted as a chief of staff, which I am today. So I'm not going to talk about my job and what I do because I do a whole lot of things, but I know that you're all just interested about our internship program. So our internship program, it's more than just a learning experience. It's a stepping stone. We see it as a stepping stone for you to be able to decide whether what you say you're passionate about. I saw a lot of people saying achieving your goals is what success is to them, but what exactly are your goals? And what exactly are you doing currently to prepare yourself to understand and know exactly what your goals are? Are you sure about your goals? Are these some things that you are passionate about, or it's just about money? I love that somebody spoke here and they said success to them is making an impact and not just being happy, but being happy because the sense of fulfillment of making an impact into the society, but also moving their passion into something that brings them into that fulfillment, which was a really interesting answer because at us here at Supivaa, what we do is we are connecting with different universities, ALU being one of our biggest partners that we've been working with since 2020, 2019. And thank you so much to everybody, the leadership of ALU. We're also working with other universities in Nigeria, South Africa, Canada, US, Europe, everywhere. We're working with different universities from around the world. These universities, what we do is we work with them to take on their students because we understand, number one, at school, what you get is theoretical knowledge, right? Most of the time. So what we do is we give you an opportunity to do more than just learning theory, but also being in the space of corporate, working with real clients, working on real projects, and working, of course, the privilege of also working with real investors, of which it's people that we're working with, partners that we're also working with, just as Daisy made an introduction. And one of the things that we offer most importantly, I was saying, I always say to most of our interns is that in South Africa, most of the internships that I've been in, I was always working in the background. You know, I'm doing research in the background. I never had the privilege to meet people that we're working with, either be clients or partners that we're working with. But during my internship here at Supivaa, my biggest experience highlight was that I was given the privilege to go work face to face with our clients, face to face with our contact to contact with our clients and our partners, I mean our investors. And that is actually a privilege because then it means your input is important. We really do believe in people learn by doing, and people learn by being involved, and people learn by being leaders, so we give you that kind of experience where you are able to work and engage directly with our partners, with our consultants, with our clients as well. We work with different consultants from around the world. As you can see, Daisy and I are in South Africa, but we also have other consultants that are working in Nigeria, sorry, in Kenya, in Ethiopia, in the US, in Canada, all those countries from all around the world. So these are people with different cultures, different beliefs, different experiences, but most importantly, who are experts in their field. So our internship program, what it does is we give you an opportunity to work with all these experts. Like Daisy said at the beginning when she was doing an introduction, our main goal is to make you globally competitive. Yeah. So we can see how the job market is in Africa. And our goal is to ensure that you do not just have the experience of working in Ghana or in South Africa or in Nigeria or wherever you are in Rwanda, but you have a global experience of corporate world, which has been one of the best highlights because number one, most of our alumni have been getting job offers after they have completed their internship programs. They get offers from around the world. That is because of their experience that they have gotten throughout their internship program. So that's how our internship program is. Number one, okay, that's number one. Number two, in terms of the period. So we have this internship period for 3 months. You serve your own 3 months. In those 3 months, one thing that you have to understand is we work with students, right? So it is important for us to also emphasize that school is most important. I love the ALU program because they give you also the opportunity to go and do your internship program. In South Africa, most of our universities don't have that period where you are doing your internship. So everything is just learning for the whole year. There's no space unless if it's holidays, right? So since you guys are in the ALU and you guys have the period where you are doing your internship programs, and during that time, maybe your schedule, there's a little bit of change, we give you the privilege of choosing your own hours. Yeah. In those hours, you let us know, okay, this is my schedule, this is my school schedule. I go to school from 9 until maybe 1 p.m. And then after that, I am available. We give you that privilege to come and work after school. If you say, we have had some of the students that say, you know what, Legato, my schedule is I have classes from 12 or from 1 until 5, but I'm available in the morning. Do that. But one thing that we do, because we're a professional space, we hold you accountable because number one, we do not treat you as just an intern. You are a professional in a professional space, working with professionals and working in a professional company. So we hold you accountable on those hours in which you said, I will be available for 3 hours or 4 hours in a day, or maybe 5 days a week, no matter how many hours you have, you're not limited to 3 hours or 4 hours a day. You can have, we've had interns that were like, you know what, I'm happy to do 8 hours a day for 4 days a week. You are more than welcome to do that. But the most important thing is to ensure that your school work comes first. So that's why we are trying to work around your clock. and your schedule. Another thing is we are operating in Kenya. So, which means the operating hours are in Kenyan time. I think if some of you have been in contact with me or Daisy, you'll see that even in our emails, we always refer to our times in Eastern time zone, even though we are Canadian African company, we are operating currently in Kenya. So, which means your hours should be between 9 and 5. The 9 is 9 East African time until 5 East African time. You cannot come here and say you are available after 5. Honestly, Daisy and I don't want to be here after 5. Everybody has their own thing. So we really do advise everybody to be here at least between the hours of 9 and 5. It does not matter whether it's in the morning or it's in the afternoon, but as long as you adhere to the hours that you have given us, these are the hours that we will hold you accountable. These are the hours that we know that you know what, Gian is available during maybe from 9 until 12. So during that time, that's when we give you all the tasks that you have to do. Yeah. So this is more than just that. It's also, we also value things like teamwork. We are a fully remote company, so you can work from wherever you are. Yeah. Whether you are in Africa, you are in Europe, you're in the US, you are in Asia, wherever you are, irrespective of the time zone difference, unfortunately, we only work in East African time. Unfortunately for us in the southern of Africa, with Eastern time, we are just 1 hour behind. But there are other people who are, like for instance, we currently have an intern and she's from Togo, and so she's a couple of hours behind Nairobi, which is something that she's trying to make adjustments to. So, but she's been, she's adjusted very well, and we've had also other interns from the UK. They're also a couple of hours behind, but we've also had other interns from Asia who are a couple of hours ahead. So they've tried to also adjust their schedule in terms of the Nairobi working hours. So that's how we work. Yeah. So I'm just gonna maybe just go to Daisy just to tell you how maybe our everyday. Oh, no, no. Before we go to that, let me just go to this one. The positions available. This one I'm gonna spend a couple of minutes on this just so that we are very clear. We have two positions that are available. It's social media marketing and creative branding. And then the other one is business development and investor relations. Most of the questions that I get asked is, okay, does that mean if I don't do social media and marketing or business development, does that mean I'm not welcome to apply? You're more than welcome to apply. There are people that we get, for instance, I did financial accounting, and we've had other interns that were doing things like computer sciences, or they're doing IT, or they're also doing maybe health, they're in healthcare, but they have applied for this internship program. The reason is we're in different sectors. We are in agriculture, solutions to climate change, and healthcare. But in all those sectors, we have different things. We have finance as well. We have science. We have IT. We have a lot of other different things that are, of course, included in this. You could also be asking, if I'm doing psychology, can I also apply? Yes, you can apply. The thing is, it's not just about what you're doing in school, but also about what you're passionate about. This is a learning experience. We are not looking for people with experience. There are people who would say, oh, well, I don't have any experience in social media, but I would like to really be part of their cohort where I'm doing creative branding and marketing. You are more than welcome to apply. One thing that we are looking for in students or whoever that is applying the candidate is dedication, your time, and you just giving your all. That's all we need, okay? Not your experience, because we take this as an extension of your school. We take this as an extension of your experience in school and learning whatever it is that you learned in school. If it's something that you are trying to learn, business development, you want to get into investor relations, but currently you're studying something like psychology or social work, hey, you're more than welcome to apply, because at the end of the day, it's not about the experience, but number one, the passion that you have, determination, and most importantly, your willingness to learn. We want people who want to learn, because, like I said, we work with different people, consultants from around the world, who are actual experts in their field, and they are ready to train you, to coach you, to work with you, to hold your hand and say, hey, this is how you do this, this is how we do this, this is how we do that. At the end of the day, we want you to look back in those 3 months and say, I got here and I did not know anything about investments, but today I know because I've had hands-on experience. Hands-on being a very key word here, hands-on experience, and I've worked with different partners. I've worked with different consultants that have, opened up a door of experience for me to know and understand how this works. Also in social media as well. When it comes to who are experienced, but we're looking for people who are ambitious, people who say, you know what, even though I'm not a creative, but I want to get into this place and I'm going to put in my all. There are people who have really great ideas when it comes to with design, know. This internship meant people. I have, broader sense of what exactly, how does this industry actually work? We put you into this, but we want to also just see how determined are you and how do we determine this? When you apply for our internship program, we give you an assessment. In this assessment, it's not to trick you. We know our assessments can be a little bit, tricky, but they're not tricky to people who actually want this because we want to see how determined are you to make sure that when we put you into the fire, because that's what we will do. One thing about this internship, we want to make sure that you are a hunt professional. If you want to be globally competitive, you're a person who's not afraid of challenge. So we start this from the process on go, from when we give you an assessment. We give you something that we will see that, you know what, we gave you this assessment, and by the way you actually approached this, we can already see that this person is actually determined to take on any challenge that we might throw into them, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be here, giving you theory behind things. You already have that in school. But now you are getting into the real world. We give you that kind of preparation to say, this is how the real world looks like. And this is how the corporate world that people, people on social media will be wearing heels and some will be wearing suits and saying, oh no, I'm a corporate hand, but they don't really tell you what actually happens behind those desks and behind those computers. So we give you that kind of experience to actually see that this is what we do. This is what happens behind closed doors. And one thing that I would say is there are people who join our internship program who really are into entrepreneurship, and they would like to learn more about investment, investment relations. They would like to know how can I maybe reach out to investors. How do I capital raise for a business? What do investors look for? How do I provide operational support? How do I know that my business is actually not making money? How do I know that my business is flourishing? So those are the things that are included in this program to help you understand everything that has to do with entrepreneurship. Also in the marketing and branding, what we do is, okay, fine. You think you understand marketing and branding. It's not just about posting on social media. It's about bringing a solid strategy towards your marketing and also implementing that strategy. How do you know that your strategy is working? How do you know that your strategy is not working? How do you how do you make sure that you tend to that market that you're looking for? So we teach you such things, and you will see that on our social media we're not really active as much as we would like to, because it's one of our services to our clients, and so most of our energy as a small company, we put it mostly on our clients. But if you were to reach out to our clients, you will see the amazing work that we do. We also do things like company brands. There are companies, you'd be shocked. There are companies that have maybe lost their online credibility due to maybe a scandal, or maybe something happened and it damaged their brand. So we help those companies to come back into the market. Yeah. And then another question that is very popular that people ask us is, do you only work with women because it's a women, it's a gender lens company? No, we do not only work with women. Everybody can apply. We actually really do get excited when we get applications from male figures. We really do appreciate that. So whatever gender, just apply. Whatever age as well, we do not even have age restrictions. Okay, so Patrick, in case you want to apply for an internship program, holla at me. so so anybody can apply. It doesn't matter where you're from. Also, you don't really need to be a student for you to apply to us, to our programs. We've had also MBA students that are applying for our program. We've had people that are working already that will say, you know what, I really want to get certain skills, and I think this program would actually work for me. And it actually did work for them. And then we also have second year, first year students that are applying for our program. So everybody from any level is welcome to apply for our internship program. And then, so like I said, the requirements are very simple. We're not looking for 5 years of experience in marketing. We don't want you to have a profile online that proves that you are a person who is passionate about marketing. We're not looking for you to say, you know what, I've secured 15, investors for a company. We don't need that. That's our job, to help you, give you that kind of experience. So what we need from you, the desire to get into entrepreneurship and impact investing space. Some lady here said something about making an impact. So we've got you when it comes to impact, because that's what our emphasis is on. Impact, impact, impact. Strong writing and verbal communication and organizational skills. The reason why we're saying this is because number one, you're going to be included in or involved in different activities. And most of these activities include things like presentations, research, So those kind of things, or those kind of project, they require you to have a strong writing skills. However, this is not something for you to use to judge yourself, put a red pen and say, I do not qualify. Because some of these things, we have things like master classes within our program that helps you with writing skills, with presentation skills. Because we've had so many candidates that are really good on paper and they can deliver, when you ask them to do something, they can deliver. But the problem is either, of course, I understand that most of our African countries, most of us, English is not our first language, and maybe French is your first language. It's good because we have a student who was really a bit struggling with English, because English is not their first language, and they're very good with French. Yeah. So we also find a way to also take your skills in French to incorporate them into our projects, which is really great. If you go to our social media, you will see that our posts are now in English and French, because that diversity has been really, really refreshing into the company. And that's what we actually want, diversity. And that's what we actually embrace as an African company. So come on in and help us to bring this diversity into the corporate and also into the impact investment space. So through you, we could be having, a variety of different people, different cultures, that will, cultivate some other people to say, hey, you know what, at Supivaa, they have different people, different cultures. And even when they post, different people can interact with us, because we are reaching to different people through the skills that we have within the company, through even our interns themselves. So another thing is ability to multitask. Honestly, the reason why I put this one here is we've had so many people, especially students, that would say, hey, I have a lot of work, and I could not finish the task that you gave me, And the thing is, during the time which you gave us, which was your slot, that time we'd expect you to be doing Supivaa work the same way after your working hours at Supivaa. We will not reach out to you and say, hey, we are looking at this project and you did not finish or whatever, because we respect your time out, but also we would like you as a professional, not just an intern, but as a professional, to also respect your time that you spend with us. Make the most of it. As much as the opportunities can be given to you, as much as you can, but you as an individual, it's very important for you to grab them and also be determined to ensure that you put them in, you make them personal. And the moment you make it personal, that's when you go to the point of reaching your goals, because you have now personalized these opportunities that are given to you. So as much as we can give you all these opportunities, it's totally up to you how much you utilize these opportunities to work for you, and also to prepare you for your career in the future or present. Yeah. And then another thing, do you work well in small team, in a team? The most important thing is we are working remotely. Like I said, you can work from wherever you are, but the most important thing is, can you work with a team? Yeah. We've had so many people that work with us and they still can't work in a team. But it's something that we over time we get to, hone that skill because it's also a skill. Being able to work with other people, it's a skill. So working remotely is never an excuse for people to say, I don't have people skills because you are working as a team. You will be working with different other interns. Just because we are speaking to ALU now, it doesn't mean that in a cohort, we will have only ALU students. There will be other students from Leeds, UK. There will be other students from the University of maybe Wits University in South Africa, and maybe the Kenyatta University in Kenya. So it will be a mix of, different candidates from different countries, from different universities that work in different ways. But how do you make sure that you work together as a team? Because it is very important that when you produce a project, I won't be able to see that, you know what, Amina is the one that did section 1, Patrick did section 2, Loretta did section 3. It has to be something that is collaborated, and it's something that I cannot even tell who did which part, right? That's what it means to be a team that is collaborating. So that's another thing. You have to be motivated and innovative, and you have to be very creative. The reason why I put this one here as well is that the thing is, you are not going to be working in the background and doing research and other people presenting your findings. You are doing that yourself. So if you're given a project, you are also given an opportunity to lead that project. If it's something maybe that we're doing a research project, maybe for a certain client, if we see that, okay, you know what, Gian is very, very proactive, we give you that kind of, that opportunity, lead the project so that we see how can you, now you're honing your leadership skills as well. So different skills are honed in different opportunities and different, projects that we're working on. So you are given that opportunity to be there and work with people like firsthand, and we don't have to report on your behalf. And you will see later on when Daisy just explains how our day-to-day looks like with our interns. And when you go to our website, when you scroll down, you will see that we held a webinar last year. In that webinar, it was so informative. I'm sure some of you were there. It was very informative, and it was hosted by our interns. All I had to do then, because then I was the actual coordinator for the interns, and that's when Daisy was also part of the internship group. Then you will see that all I had to do was just to oversee everything, but they were in charge of that program to ensure that they get the webinar out there. It's your responsibility. So we give you those kinds of, opportunities, and you will see that different people, different partners, different investors also got into that conversation to interact with our clients, which was very, very exciting, because then it also gives you, the spotlight to say you do not know who is watching when we host these kinds of sessions. Somebody is watching and could be your future employer. And maybe sometimes you will even say that, hey, we also had a webinar, an information webinar with this company that I worked with, and they're like, oh yeah, I was there. Yes, I was the one who was wearing this and this, and I was talking about this. Already that is part of your interview, and it has, of course, already singled you out of all the candidates that are present. So these are the kind of opportunities that we offer. So you can apply from wherever you are. I've already said that. We have had a lot of students that are coming from everywhere, which has been an amazing experience, because then you also see how other people work. I've realized that I worked for a Canadian company for 4 years now, and I've met with, people from the UK, and I realized that, what, Canadians are very easygoing. They're very friendly. Even when you speak to people that live there, they're very friendly. I can just call Patrick. In Africa, some places I have to call him Mr. Patrick, and in Canada, because I have now adopted that culture in Canada, you can call. It's not out of disrespect, but it's just, that kind of warm thing of saying, what, we are on first name basis, because I want you to be comfortable to interact with me without you thinking of me as, the leader of this or the CEO of that. But then I got to work with people from the UK, and I realized that, accolades and rankings are very, very important to them. So you have to, address them in a certain manner. That is it. And that is a global experience, because you get to interact with different people who are working differently, which is amazing because I can work everywhere at this point. I can work in the US, I can work in the UK, I can work in any country in Africa because I've interacted with different people for different reasons, which has given me a broader sense of how they work, their culture, their company morale, their company leadership, and how they actually do things. So I have gotten that experience through working in a global company. So that is also another thing that you can get from here, the global experience that will make you globally competitive. Before I go into this, I want to say this. Our internship program, like I said, is an extension of your work at school, right? From what you did or what you're trying to build. At the end of the day, we do not just harness your skills. We also help you identify the things that you thought you were passionate about, but actually, when you get into the real world where all these things are done, you're like, you know what? No, I don't want to do this. We've had so many students that said, you know what? I want to get into impact investing, or I want to get into entrepreneurship. And they're like, I actually, instead of just doing this, I want to do business development. I don't just want to be an entrepreneur, that has their own business and doing this and this and this. I now just want to do consultancy and help businesses grow instead of having my own business that needs growing. And we've had such people and those things. It just because you enjoy things like writing, it doesn't mean that you have to be a writer, right? But those are the things that you need experience for you to decide, because at the end of the day you could be thinking, this is my goal, this is what I want to do. You're in your 20s, or you are in your early 30s or late 30s or whatever you are, and you're thinking, this is what I want to do, until you actually experience it. And you're like, I don't think I actually want to do this. I like it, but I will do it maybe in the background or maybe later in my life when I am bored and I've retired. But this is really not something I would like to do. So this is an opportunity for you to also understand that this is what I want to do and this is what I actually thought I wanted to do. But no, I don't want to do this. Or maybe I thought I don't like this, but now I just realized that I actually like this and I would like to pursue it further. So we give you an opportunity to do that. Like I said, we work with different universities. This is an academic internship. It's an unpaid internship. That's why we give you the liberty to do everything else that you have in your life, but also having the opportunity to experience the real world within the corporate world. So that's why we give you the opportunity to go study, go work, go do whatever. But in between the hours of 9 and 5, find the time to come and work with us. So that is the reason why. And this is an academic internship. Like I said, we work with different universities that have different needs. And so we make sure that we cater to those needs to ensure that after 3 months, we know for sure that you have gotten what you needed for your goals, your career goals to be specific. So thank you so much. That is my part on how our internship program works. I'm just going to give back to Daisy to just explain to you how a day in the life of a Supivaa intern actually looks like. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lerato, for such a detailed presentation. So at Supivaa, our internship program is designed to provide hands-on experience in impact investing, in gender lens strategies, and in business development. And just as Lerato said, this internship is not just the typical internship that you normally do. You don't get to be in the background. You also get to be the main character. Our interns are immersed in real-world projects. They are collaborating with industry experts, and they are contributing to meaningful initiatives that drive change in the company. So we're going to be giving you a breakdown of a typical day of a life of a Supivaa intern. How does it go? So basically every morning we have daily check-in calls. This is just 10% of your day. We make sure that our interns start their day with a structured check-in call. This session basically sets the tone of the day and ensures that everyone is aligned on priorities and deliverables. Because we are not working in an office, we are unable to go to your desk and say, hi, can I please see what you have been doing? Can I see your track what exactly have you been doing? Who assigned you this task? So we make sure that we do this remotely, and interns provide updates on their ongoing task. Interns now, they make sure that they are discussing their key deadlines and project expectations with the team. And we also deal with any challenge or blockers that are identified, and we provide solutions that are proposed. So we also make sure that new tasks and responsibilities are assigned based on project needs. So basically, this check-in every single day, it's crucial to maintaining a smooth workflow and ensuring that the interns receive the guidelines they need throughout the day. Of course, we are going to agree on a time that is suitable for everyone. Like Lerato has said, we are working with students from all over the world. So mainly our check-in calls is around 10 a.m. EAT or 11 a.m. EAT, but we are trying to adjust it. We make sure that we adjust it according to everyone's time zone so that you don't have to wake up early or you don't have to start your check-in way too late. So the second one is the research and analysis, which is 40%. This is a significant portion of an intern's day dedicated to in-depth research and analysis. So we make sure that we are tasking our interns with conducting market research on industries such as impact investing, such as gender lens financing or gender lens investing, and emerging market trends. Our interns are also making sure that they are sending their daily news updates in our Slack channel. So we want to make sure that when you leave Supivaa and also in your time in Supivaa, you are updated and you are informed about what is happening around you. So part of your responsibilities as an intern, you basically need to do research on what is currently happening around gender lens investing, around impact investing, healthcare, agriculture, tech, AI. That is what you basically need to do. We need to make sure that you are performing competitive analysis to understand key players in the investment ecosystem, because as we are an impact investment advisory firm, this is at our core root. So we need to make sure that you as an intern get to familiarize yourself with the investment ecosystem. Number three, we make sure that you are gathering data and insights on potential investors, clients' needs, and funding opportunities. Like Lerato has said, you are going to be working directly with the client. So if we give you a client that you are going to be working with, part of your job, you're going to be doing a lot of investor research. You're going to be making sure that you're finding funding opportunities for our investors, making sure that you are familiarizing yourself with their ticket sizes, the investment sizes that this client is looking for, and the potential investor that you think would be a great investor for our client. You're also going to be evaluating the socio-economic impact of various business models in gender lens investing. And you're also going to be preparing comprehensive reports to support client projects and investor engagement. So basically, this research is going to serve as the foundation for strategic content, with the opportunity to develop strong analytical critical thinking skills, because we believe that if we want to make you globally competitive, you need to make sure that your critical thinking skills are very sharp and your research skills are also sharp, along with your strategic decision making. It's very sharp as well. So moving right along to research and finding presentations, this is also very important. After conducting research, you need to make sure that as an intern, you take an active role in synthesizing your findings and presenting them to the team. So you're not only going to be doing the research, you also need to present this research to the team. So you're going to structure clear and compelling presentation that communicates key takeaways from your research. If you are researching about a particular investor that you think is relevant for our client, now you need to make sure that your structure is clear and it's also compelling, and everyone that is seeing your presentation is able to understand and follow as to what exactly is it that you are presenting to us. Because most of the time when you are making a presentation, you find a lot of data available, and unfortunately you cannot populate this data on your presentation. Some of this you need to make sure that you are verbally speaking, you are verbally narrating that data. So this means that you need to find strategies on how to make your presentation clear and compelling, that even when I do not have the data, the full data that you have researched, but I still get a glimpse and still understand in detail as to what you are going to present to us. Number three, you need to also make sure that you are translating data into actionable insights. So you're going to be working on investor reports, you're going to be working on project proposals, and you're also going to be working on advisory recommendations, since we are an advisory firm. So this is what we are offering our interns. Number four, you are going to be collaborating with senior team members to refine and enhance presentations before they are shared with external stakeholders. By external stakeholders, we are talking about our clients. So before we can give out these reports and presentations to our clients, we need to make sure that we liaise with the team to make sure that this presentation is ready to be shared with the client. And the last one is that we are doing this research and finding presentation just so that we can assist you in improving your public speaking and communication skills. Because I think most of us, we can agree with each other right here that if your public speaking skills are not good and your communication skills are also not good, it's not easy to find a job. It's also not easy to market yourself because you cannot speak for yourself. So if your public speaking skills are sharp, then you are able to put yourself out there because you're able to speak for yourself and also brand yourself just the way you want to articulate yourself. So when you deliver your insights to the team, you also receive the feedback, and we are basically going to be able to help you. Just like Lerato has said, when you apply at Supivaa, you are given an assignment that you need to do for a week. And then after doing that assignment, you will then have to present to the team. When you present to the team, this is our opportunity to actually assess your presentation skills and already see where exactly can we be able to assist you as an intern. So these presentations are very much essential. It's an essential part of Supivaa's decision-making process, and they give our interns the confidence and the experience needed for professional settings. And then you're also going to be attending investor and client meeting and strategy session. This is 20% of what you're going to be doing. So as an intern, you are actively involved in real world business discussions and get firsthand exposure to high level conversations with our investors, with our clients, with ecosystem partners. And you basically, in your participation, you're going to be sitting in on investor meetings to observe discussions around capital raising, around funding structures, and around impact metrics. And you're going to be taking notes. And after the session, we do a debrief of what exactly is it that you have learned. What do you find interesting about the discussions that we have done? So this also gives you it gives you a broader understanding on what is happening in the investment industry. So you're also going to be engaging with clients and strategic partners to understand their business models, their investment needs, and operational challenges. You're going to be participating in internal strategy sessions where investment opportunities are analyzed and market trends are discussed. You are also going to be providing support in meeting documentations, note-taking, and summarizing key insights for actionable follow-ups. The reason why you are preparing this note-taking and summarizing key insights for actionable follow-ups, we need to make sure that as you are sitting in these meetings, you are not just sitting and being present, you are actually understanding and following as to what is happening. So after this meeting, we're going to need you to make a whole note taking, a meeting summary of you telling us what is it that has been happening to this meeting, who said what, and what is the action item that needs to follow up. This summary that you're going to be giving us is going to be presented to the client, right? That this is what has been discussed in the meeting. So and so said this, and these are the key highlights of the meeting, and these are the action follow-ups that needs to be taken. So this exposes you as an intern. It basically builds your confidence. It develops deeper understanding of the impact investment landscape. It also strengthens your professional networking skills. So why does this matter, basically? So at Supivaa, our interns are not just observers, like we said. You are active contributors. You are not in the background. You are the main character. We make sure that you gain real world experience. We make sure that we refine your research and analytical skills. And we make sure that you engage with global stakeholders working towards impact-driven solutions. Okay, next slide. I think we can Did we go to the calendar? All right. So this is our internship program calendar. Right now, as we speak, we already have interns that we have already onboarded. They started on the 17th of February, and their internship is coming to an end on the 16th of May. However, applications for the second cohort are opening on the 16th of April, and they're going to be closing on the 6th of May. So please make sure that if you're interested, you apply with us. Our interviews are going to be starting to take place from May 7th, 16th of May, and the next starting on the 19th of May. So this is just a brief. If you'd like to take a screenshot or you'd like to take a picture of this internship calendar so that whenever internships open in your cohort at school, you are able to apply with us. So I'm just going to give you just 1 minute to take screenshot and to also take a picture so that you can use this for future purposes. All right, if you have taken a screenshot, you can just give us a thumbs up so we can move to the next slide. Okay, we can move, Loretta. Thank you. So if you'd like to apply to our internship program, please go to our website. There it is, www.supivaa.com, for more information and the programs that we are offering. Applications are going to be opening on the 16th of April, and the deadline is on the 6th of May, 2025. You can send your application. Basically, the things that you need to send, you need to make sure that you're sending your cover letter and your CV. Please, if you're not going to send your cover letter, your application is not going to be attended to because it's incomplete. We've also seen a lot of people sending CVs, but they do not send their cover letters. Just make sure that you follow the instruction. You send your cover letter and you also send your CV to careers@supivaa.com. Yeah, so we're going to be opening the floor for questions. Thank you so much.
Before we open up for the questions, Daisy, I just want to add something. When applying, please make sure that you remember we are a global company. So there are a lot of applicants that are coming in and competing for these positions. So it is also very important for you to submit CVs that are professional. I've come across some really disappointing CVs that really look funny, the alignment issue, so things like alignment issues, or maybe the CV does not look like a university student put it together. I know that ALU has programs where they help you on how to write CVs. Please make sure that you take advantage of such programs, because when you apply, we also look at how your CV actually looks. So if it really doesn't look professional, unfortunately, we cannot consider your application. So please, let's just make sure that we remain professional like the university students and take on the opportunities that we are given to ensure that we submit documents that are to that standard. Thank you very much, Patrick. Okay, we have a question. Okay.
Please go ahead. I wanted to share something concerning the CV. You just mentioned CV, so that sounds good. I want to share something, a link that the students can use. Some of them know already, but in case you don't know, you can book a coaching conversation with us so we can go through your CV and share some information or some tips about it. So, yeah, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a question from Dan Paul. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for giving me time. So I want to know, you said that computer science students can are able to apply. So perspective do they engage within your company? As I've seen, there are two positions: social marketing stuff and business analysis and development. And my second question, are these paid internship positions? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to emphasize this. I had already mentioned I had already given answers to these questions, but thank you very much for those questions. Number one, yes, we do have other students that are doing other courses that are, of course, interested in these positions that we have open. So how? Number one, like I said, if you remember in the wheel of requirements, I said if you are passionate about entrepreneurship. So you could be doing social work, psychology, computer or IT, whatever it is, but you are actually passionate about entrepreneurship, then this internship is for you. As long as you are passionate about entrepreneurships and impact investment, come. You are one of us. You should apply. And then the second one is, unfortunately, not yet. Our internship program is still unpaid for now, but we are actively working on getting sponsors that will help us to make these internship programs paid in the future. But currently, unfortunately, not. That's why we also keep them very short, so that it's your decision whether you. We've had 90% of our students want to extend. So, but we also just want to give you the liberty to say 3 months is the minimum you can get. So if you would like to continue, then it's totally acceptable.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gian?
Good morning, Ms.
Good
Lera.
morning.
Yeah, thank you for your time. So I am in my first year at Yale, and my question is, what can I do to follow all of this instruction?
Okay, so you mean what can you do to apply?
Because I want to be prepared so that when the moment will come, it will be also easier for me.
Okay, great. So did you take number one? Did you take a screenshot of our calendar? I'm just going to keep it on screen just so that those who did not get the opportunity to take a screenshot, this is the first step. Please take a screenshot of this. Honestly,
Okay.
one thing that the only thing you need to be prepared, you need to prepare is your mind.
Okay.
Prepare yourself that you're getting into a professional space with experts. So I am getting prepared and I'm
Yes.
preparing my mind to actually learn. That's the only preparation we need from you. Yeah. I want to learn. That's the only preparation we need from you. And number two, follow us on social media. We always advertise, we always put updates on our social media pages, more especially our LinkedIn, to say, hey, our application program is open. Maybe just apply, make sure that you apply, and this is the deadline. But other than that, everything is on this calendar. So as soon as you see that it's the 16th of April, start applying. The earlier the better, because we have a lot. We receive over 500 applications. So please make sure that you apply. Don't wait until the 5th of May for you to apply, because then we have received so many applications, and also we respond to applications as they roll in. So as they roll in, we already start replying to applications. So please don't wait for the last minute, because then by the time the 5th of May comes, we have already we already have a couple of people that we have identified to say, this is good, this one is good, okay, we can take this one, okay, this group, let's move it to the next cohort or whatever. So please apply as soon as you can.
Okay. Please, you also mentioned about people from French country.
Yes.
Yeah, me also.
Absolutely.
I came from Ivory Coast, and English, is not our first language.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I was very excited when I emphasized that. So you're more than welcome to everyone is welcome to apply.
Okay, about the public speaking, we can learn this with you.
Yes. We
Okay,
have things
nice.
like master classes that will help you, because we also understand that we are targeting African countries and some of the European countries, of course, that don't speak English. They do have, of course, communication. When it comes to communication in English, it's a requirement. You need to be able, like you and I are communicating right now, and we are communicating in English, but we are not saying be perfect in English. Yeah. Because we will make sure, because you'll be speaking English every day. That's part of enhancing your skills when it comes to presentation and communication in English as well. So
Okay, thank
that
you.
should not be an issue. We are in Africa, and most of African countries, their first languages are definitely not English.
Mm.
So please do apply.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Do we have any other question? Oh, is it remote? Yes, it is remote. Everybody's welcome to work from wherever they are. As long as you have a stable internet, and also make sure that you work in an environment that is not, you cannot work in a canteen and take a meeting with a client in a canteen where everybody's just, there's music in the background and people going up and down and people throwing food. I'm just making an example. But you cannot be in a chaotic place, or maybe riding in a bus and you want to, attend meetings. Find a place that is professional, quiet, and where you can actually interact with people that you're having meetings with, because you will have such moments. And also, you can't be in a chaotic environment, because then it should allow you to also work as well. So as much as you cannot attend a lecture in a place that is chaotic and noisy, maybe you are at a club and you're like, hey, I know I'm late, but I'll be with you guys in 2 minutes. No, that's not acceptable. We should be professional. So make sure that you have a space where you can work. We've had ALU students who would say, I will work at the library at school. If you're on campus, some of them, maybe they come from the same campus, and they meet at a neutral place and work together. So we've had such people who would say, you know what, we're from ALU, we are from the same residence, so we will work at this place together in the same hours, and then we will depart as soon as we are done. So we've had such cases. If you are in Nairobi and you are close to our offices, I know that just because you guys are all from ALU, it doesn't mean you're all from Rwanda or Mauritius. So some of you maybe are from Kenya. You're also welcome to come to our offices and work in person, which is something most of our interns have really enjoyed, because you get the privilege to work in person with our team, and also have the privilege also to attend things like meeting our clients in person. Daisy and I don't have that privilege because we are in South Africa. So if you are in Nairobi and you are near our offices in General Matenge, you're more than welcome to attend there in person. But this is a fully remote internship. Okay. What are the key things you're looking for that makes candidates stand out? I'm just gonna go back to my wheel of requirements. Probably you joined in later. So these are the requirements: the desire to get into the entrepreneurial space or impact investment space. Number 2, strong writing and verbal communication and organizational skills, ability to multitask and meet critical deadlines, work well in a team, and of course autonomously. We do not believe in micromanaging you, because we treat you as a professional. So you need to be able to be independent in your work. Of course, you'll be working with a team, but also we want to know that you are also independent. Can you work all by yourself? Are you motivated and innovative? And also just be creative. Those are the key things we are looking for. And dedication. And also a person who is really passionate about learning, because there will be a lot of learning. How many applicants do we accept? It depends on how many applicants do we find suitable. In every cohort is different. I will tell you that. Sometimes we've had to take about 5 interns, and sometimes we've had only to take 2 or maybe 3, because honestly that cohort was just maybe not, they were not really giving us that morale of saying they want to get into this internship program. So maximum we can take only 5 per cohort. However, I'm going to very emphasize this: if we happen to have a lot more interns that we feel like, you know what, they are really good, and we would like to maybe take more than 5, we can do that, but at least 6 to 7. But we can maybe also just take another group and say, we are going to move you to the next cohort instead of taking all of you all at the same time. But maximum, we always aim for 5 interns per cohort. And then if we have many more that we feel like, you know what, they're very suitable, we move that group maybe to the next cohort, or to say, you guys are really good and we do not want you guys to miss this opportunity, but let's take you in the next 3 months. You will be the first to be considered for this opportunity. Brian?
So thank you so much for the insight. I actually joined the meeting late, and I'm genuinely sorry for that. Mine is just a concern. So when are we expected to have the recordings for the meeting?
Okay, I think Patrick will be the one to advise on this because he's the owner of this meeting, so he will let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, guys? Okay.
Sorry. I think the question that Jian asked in the chat was that is the Supivaa team in Rwanda? So Supivaa, it's not currently in Rwanda. We are based in Kenya and in Canada. However, we do intend with everyone from all over the world. Like Lerata and I, we are currently based in South Africa, but we also do have colleagues that are based in Togo, that are based in Tanzania, and in other parts of the world. Thank you.
I will interpret the silence as the absence of no other questions. So thank you very much, guys, for your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Patrick, for giving us this opportunity to have this information session with your students. Guys, if you have any other questions for us, please let us know. You can just send your questions to careers@supivaa.com. We will be able to answer all your questions. Thank you very much, Patrick. Over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And if you can put your hands together for Lilatu and Daisy, I'll be very grateful. Thank you so much for sharing this with us about Supivaa. And I can imagine how our students are going to take advantage of these opportunities that are there. Especially so as Daisy is already the trailblazer in Supivaa, and I know some of you would like to join her. So thank you. Regarding the recording, as much as possible, we want to always make sure that we reduce the number of emails we send to you as students. We are aware that you don't have all the time to read all your emails, so we don't send the recording alone. But when we have an event, we send the invitation and add the previous event recording. So those of you who received the reminder for today's session, you would have seen that we have the recording for last Wednesday's event. So it will always be part of the information that we send to you to reduce the number of emails. That's one. The second thing is I just shared a link concerning the SPD Hub. So if you visit our site, that career site, you will be able to access not just that recording, but even previous meetings, including even last year. You have all our recordings there. So you don't have problem, you don't have to worry. And our YouTube channel is also there. Once you go to our YouTube channel and you are a student, you should be able to access them. Beyond that, you can always even send us an email, the My Career account email. So just reach out to us that I want this particular recording, and we'll send it to you. So you will not miss anything. Once again, very grateful to you for joining and for spending time with us. I believe you've learned something, and I believe you take advantage of the opportunities that they have shared, and you will definitely apply. Please give us your take on this session. Tell us how you see it. Tell us your experience about this session using our Google form. Beyond that, I think this is we call this a day. It's been wonderful hosting this meeting, and I hope to see more of our engagement as the term progresses. On Wednesday next week, or hopefully Friday, we will be having another conversation. So once again, thank you, Liratu, thank you, Daisy, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you. Students, before you drop, please use our Google form to share your thoughts with us, and we'll appreciate it. Thank you.
Salvation.